Hi friends, Nicole Spohr here today, and I am back with another Stamptember 2020 project. Today features the My Favorite Things Purrfect Friends Stamp Set. It does have coordinating dies. I'm not using them today. We're just going to be creating these really fun rainbow strips greeting cards using other My Favorite Things products. Even a little mama elephant thrown in here too to create this big bold greeting with cute little furry friends sitting on top of our sentiments. I went through my Favorite Things stash and came up with two large die cut sentiments that I could die cut from smooth white cardstock panels and back with some really fun quick strips from Mama Elephant for that rainbow design, and then of course decorate the panel with these kitties. We're going to take our panels over to our die cutting machine and first die cut the Huge Hugs Die-Namics from our 4 by 5¼ inch background, so slightly smaller than A2 sized, which makes this perfect to place on a white card base with a little foam adhesive, which is what I wanted to do here. I often don't like to use the foam adhesive all the way to the edge of the background because it makes it a little hard for the card to fit in an envelope. Next, we're going to take the big Smile Die-Namics and do the same thing with this die from another 4 by 5¼ inch panel. I opted to do 2 cards today. I already had all the supplies out. I had multiple strips of cardstock that I've die cut with the Mama Elephant quick stripes. I keep saying strips, I mean stripes. And so I thought, why not go ahead and create 2? For the first card, I did create just a simple mask. I really only needed to cut just a little bit there where the face overlaps because I'm going to buddy these 2 kitties up next to each other. And I needed them to be a little closer, and I, of course, didn't want to stamp that over. I'm stamping these with some Hero Arts INTENS-IFIED black ink. When I peel off that little mask there, look at our cute little kitties from the Purrfect Friends Stamptember set sitting close together. Then we'll go ahead and take our next set of kitties. And this also, I feel like they kind of go together. Oh, there's 3 sets of cats. I only did 2 cards. I guess I could have really done 3 today, but I only did these 2. And I feel like they all just kind of go together. So these 2 are going to be sitting. I purposely positioned these 2 the way I did because their tails are down and I didn't want their tails to be cut off. So that's kind of how I worked out my positioning for these kitties. Now that we have both of our background panels die cut, prepped, stamped, and ready to go, let's do some quick Copic coloring. I have listed the marker colors I'm using across the top of the screen there. YR 31, 24, and 27 are the base colors for my little orange tabby. This cat reminds me of my son's, got 2 cats now. He just got one here probably a couple months ago, and then he adopted another, a little friend for him, and her name is Katara, his little orange tabby. And so I definitely was inspired by her when coloring in this cat. I will also be using a little warm gray 002 and 5 and R21 for the insides of the ears and the little pink nose. And just doing some nice blending. I do want to mention my background panel. I did choose a good thick quality cardstock for this, especially because we're going to be backing our die cut with those quick stripes. And I want that to be very nice and sturdy, this front panel. This is 110 pound weight Neenah smooth white cardstock. Neenah cardstock is my favorite for Copic coloring. And I especially love the 110 pound weight as I find it's very nice and sturdy. Our second kitty is being colored with warm gray 002, 5, 6, and 7, little gray cat. And then he's got a little aqua ribbon around his neck. That's going to be blue, green, 11, 13, and 18. So super simple, speedy coloring. Also R21 for the insides of his ears. So they both have little pink inside their ears. If the pink is too harsh, and R21 is going to be pretty pink, my suggestion is always to take your lightest color. So for the orange cat, that would be YR31, and pull a little of that over the R21 to mute it a little bit. And the same thing goes for the gray cat. A little warm gray 2 or warm gray 00 over R21 helps mute that so it's not just an in-your-face pink. So you see how bright it is, and then I just flick a little darker color over the top. Make sure and get some nice texture into that little ribbon around his neck. I have so many cat lovers in my life. This set would just be a fantastic addition. If you are a big fan of the My Favorite Things critters, this is just an awesome addition to your collection. Next, we have a little black and white kitty. I'm using warm gray 00, 2, 5, 7, and 9 with R21. I'm coloring in the dark spots first, and then for the white on the kitty, instead of keeping it stark white, we're going to use our lightest warm gray colors to add a little shading and a little texture. Definitely give the cat some dimension. These are super clean and simple today. I know I've been sharing a lot of super detailed cards, lots of ink blending, lots and lots of shading and coloring. Wanted to mix it up with maybe a little more clean and simple design today, but yet still add that fun element, which is what we're going to get with our little die cut greeting here. And also maybe inspire you to use some of your large greetings and back them with some little thin strips of cardstock, because it's super fun and I can't wait to do this in lots of different color combinations. Maybe with your holiday sets, back these with holiday colors. Can you imagine how cute? Obviously, Halloween and fall, that's probably going to be here before the holidays, isn't it? That would be beautiful. I always am drawn to a rainbow, so I definitely went with more rainbow color, but you could do anything back behind your greetings here. This last kitty is E40, 43, 44, and 47 with R21. This is one of my go-tos for fur on lots of critters, and I just wanted to mix it up and do something different. I tried to do something different on all 4 of my kitties here today. Once we have all that shading the way we want it to look, I will be taking a black glaze pen and adding detail back into the eyes on all of the cats, just to make sure they're nice and glossy and really show up well. And then I'm going to take a white pen and just add little dots to the whiskers on the cheeks. We're not adding a whole lot of white pen detail anywhere else, just some little dots for their cheeks. So a trio on each. Once we have that done, we are ready to start adhering our quick stripes. So several months ago, Mama Elephant came out with this large die set called Quick Stripes, and there's 4 different sizes of strips. You can see them over here on the left side of the screen. I'm using the teeny tiny one as I wanted to see as many different colors as possible on my card, but you could definitely use any of those. They are fantastic for creating striped and other kinds of designed backgrounds. Love, love, love these. Now I backed the back of my panel with some double-sided adhesive so that it was really easy to just lay my strips down back behind my die cut greeting in the order I want them to go. They are overlapping my panel a little bit, which is no big deal because I can flip this over and trim those off when I am done. I just want to make sure that the entire sentiment is covered with these strips. So there is the smile. I'm going to use the letter E so that I can place the little inside of that over my rainbow so that it's a little bit easier to read. And there is our first panel. So love this. I think it's so much fun, and that instantly adds a bright, colorful look. And you can see how many stripes I have left, so I could make multiple cards. Let's go ahead and put some more double-sided adhesive on our hugs panel and do the same thing. I'm going to line that up with the lines on my work surface as well as my background to get started and get this as straight as possible. And then we're going to repeat our stripes back behind here. The hugs is a little bit bigger than smile, so these will repeat a little bit more. But again, I have lots of these left, so I can definitely make another card with my leftover strips or stripes. We're going to take 2 sentiments from the Purrfect Friends Stamptember 2020 stamp set now. Ink these up with clear embossing ink and heat emboss with white embossing powder on black cardstock. I decided to use Thanks for Being Mew and Our Friendship is Perfect. There are also included in here, We Make a Perfect Pair and I'm Head Over Paws for You. So cute. Definitely love those little punny sentiments. After I've heat embossed both of these sentiments with white embossing powder, we're going to take the My Favorite Things Stamps Skinny Strips dies. So these are like little flag banners or strip dies, great for creating your own sentiment strips. 2 of them have flag ends. I'm not going to use those, and then 2 different lengths of this standard sentiment. I'm going to use the long one, and I'm simply going to die cut each sentiment twice to make it the correct length for the phrase I'm using. So I just flip it around and run it through one more time. I actually do not run mine through all the way. I run the end on the second side that I'm die cutting through first until I just hear it click as it goes through the rollers, and then I bring it back out because it just needs to die cut that little straight edge. You could also trim it with scissors if you want to, but I really like it to have that finished die cut look that just looks different than when you use scissors. If you don't have any sentiment strips, by all means, you can trim it with your paper trimmer just fine. Once I have both of these ready to go, I'm going to back them with some foam adhesive and pop them right underneath our rainbow die cut greetings. I'm going to use a couple of these thin foam adhesive strips per strip. Peel off that backing paper, and then I find just to help get it lined up and centered correctly, I like to use some craft tweezers to keep my fingers out of the foam adhesive because they're so sticky. And that way I can get it lined up just right. We're going to do the same thing for the second one. And then to finish up our cards, because I just can't seem to stop using them, I'm going to grab some of the little funfetti heart accents and glue them to each of my cards. I tried to keep it really simple and not add too many of these, as I really wanted these to be clean, simple, bright, happy, friendship style card designs. I'm going to add little dabs of glue with the Ranger Multi-Matte Medium. And then use my embellishment wand to kind of help pick up that heart and pop it right there in place on that little dab of glue. So a little trio of glue dots and hearts at the top of each of my card backgrounds. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for these 2 cards featuring the Says Stamp Stamptember 2020 exclusive from my favorite things called Purrfect Friends. The supplies I use to create these cards are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here are a couple more videos featuring Says Stamp STAMPtember products that you might be interested in. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell to never miss a new card making video. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and we'll see you next time.